averaged 183 yards per game, 25 rushes at least in the last 2 games, and powered your offense. During that portion of the schedule, did you feel like you had to make a change in order to get your offense going?
Yeah, well, Evan's just a different kind of back. We haven't had a back like that. Probably Charlie's been here, but just a guy that even if you have us outnumbered in a box, you still have to tackle him and you wear down. I know the offensive line, they're very fired up just because it's one of their own in the backfield. So not that they're blocking any harder than what they were, but definitely motivated to see one of their own, because at the end of the day, that's an offensive lineman's dream to move back there and get those touches.
Well, without a doubt, and you know, the last 2 games against 2 really solid defenses as well shows, you know, just grinding out close victories at the same time, 33-21 against Newcastle, and then the 7-point win last week against a really good Pendleton Heights team. You know, this was the meat of your schedule. It really started with that Mount Vernon game, but the adjustment mid-season, you know, how much we talked about living in the moment a lot more this year than maybe past years because of everything going on, but that adjustment point to realize that you needed to make a change. You're playing your best football, and you feel like this is the best collection of guys in the positions to make you successful going forward. It showed the last 2 weeks, Coach.
Yeah, for sure. You know, and we're still waiting to play our best. We haven't put together a full game yet. Last week we had turnovers and did silly things to keep Pendleton around. And just can't keep good football teams around like that, because good football teams find a way to beat you. But we love the collection of guys that we have. We love that we're getting a lot of people involved in the offense and the defense. The kids are just playing exceptionally hard right now, which just makes you really proud as a coach.
And defensively, Coach, you've had to move a couple things around with Evan's bigger role on the offensive side of the ball, but it just shows the depth that you have. One of the big statistics that popped out to me was the 14 team sacks through 6 games. You forced 9 turnovers, but on that defensive line, you've got obviously Riley Wooden, who's been a wrecking ball, 14 tackles for loss. Your players are getting in the backfield, but you're going 6 or 7 deep, especially with some of the shifting around that you've had to put guys in different positions. But has that been shown even more so over the last 2 weeks?
Absolutely. We've had to lean on a lot more guys. As you know, we send out our varsity roster, and we are a roster of 3 different teams that don't practice together. So we're really limited by our, it's 30 guys, including our kickers, at the varsity level. So it's everyone needs to contribute in some way. And it's really a testament to those, 5th, 6th, 7th guys getting in, that they've worked hard in the offseason, they put their time in the weight room, and they've been great team players to put themselves in a position to contribute.
Chris Overholt's the head coach of the Delta Eagles tonight. They host the Greenfield Central Cougars. Last night, the sectional pairings get announced, and I just get the sense, Coach, this year's a little bit different in, obviously wanting to be your best during the tournament, but you mentioned to me many times, week after week, it's about, whether you're going to play the game, of that specific week. So do you look at
I got a hunger burning inside me, satisfied by just one thing. So I run to the phone and dial the number for Pizza King. I'm gonna ring the king. The king delivers. I'm gonna ring the king. An incredibly delicious royal feast pizza on the best crust you ever tasted. Ring the king. Pizza King.
Our promise to find a safe vehicle for your kids, kept. Our promise to find a truck that can tow, kept. Our promise to find a flashy summer fun sports car, kept. At the all-new Greg Hubler Ford, when we make a promise, we keep it, including our low price promise.
And now get 1.9% financing for 60 months during the Ford Summer Sales Event.
The all-new Greg Hubler Ford. Promise kept.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 21 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
For more than 35 years, online and through our branch office locations, Ruoff Mortgage has helped people discover, finance, and move into their homes with confidence. From the moment you send in an application to the day you get the keys, Ruoff keeps things moving exceptionally fast. By sharing knowledge and professional guidance, Ruoff Mortgage helps people see the potential and excitement in the homeownership experience. Visit one of our convenient branch locations or get started online at ruoff.com.
Gaddis Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram of Muncie is your new and used vehicle dealer in Muncie. Drive the stylish and roomy 2020 Jeep Grand Cherokee Altitude with four-wheel drive. The 2020 Ram 2500 Laramie Crew Cab has a 6.7-liter i6 engine to get the job done. And the customizable 2020 Ram 1500 and Ram 2500 for any size workload. Gaddis Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram is on the corner of Centennial and Wheeling in Muncie. And browse the entire inventory at BillGaddisChrysler.com.
The legacy I want to leave behind is a better world. My father was in the Army, my grandfather was in Vietnam, my uncle was in Vietnam. It's just in my blood. It's amazing. It's a beautiful thing once you look at it and see the bigger picture of it all. I just feel like we don't have enough people who want to step up and lead anymore. That's how I try to live my everyday life. I try to just help young people. That's our future. And so if we can build them up at a young age, it's their world at that point. I just want this world to be better than what I came into. The legacy I want to leave is just to build young people and to make them stronger, mentally and physically. I'm Private Christian Sufront. I'm a 92 Yankee Unit Supply Specialist with the Tennessee National Guard.
Sparks Computerized Car Care on West Bethel Avenue in Muncie is your complete auto service and maintenance shop in Muncie. Family owned and operated since 1990 with over 100 years of combined experience. Standard maintenance, tire service, brake repair, engine, transmission, and more. Sparks Computerized Car Care will take care of you bumper to bumper. Schedule an appointment online at sparksauto.net. That's sparksauto.net. Sparks Computerized Car Care in Muncie.
You deserve by calling Jason. at 747-7100 today. Live here from Delta High School as they host Greenfield Central in week number 8 of the 2020 high school football season. And we head to the keys to tonight's game, brought to you by Karen Dahl from Coldwell Banker Real Estate Group.
Well, the keys tonight for Delta is to continue to establish the run. Evan Conley's done a great job the last 2 weeks, averaging 180 yards a game on the ground. But they also need to not abandon the pass and try to look for that big play. Brady Hunt's got a great arm. They want to look for that as well. And obviously on defense, it's stop the run. Greenfield is not going to be secretive about what they're going to do. They're going to run the football, and Delta's got to do a good job of stopping that. For Greenfield Central, the best way to stay in this game is control the clock. And they do that by running the football, which they will do a lot of tonight. And they've got to shorten the game if they want to stay in this ball game.
Karen Dahl from Coldwell Banker Real Estate Group is focused on your happiness in making the decision to buy or sell your home. Her expertise and client-first approach is what you need to take that next step. Remember, Karen Dahl and Coldwell Banker Real Estate Group guiding you home. Ever since 1997, when this series started and Greenfield Central was a member of the HHC, it has been all Delta in this series. Rob mentioned it in the open. Greenfield Central has never defeated the Delta Eagles. Today's game time temperature brought to you by Lehman's Incorporated. 78 degrees, about 3 to 5 minutes away from kickoff. It was just above 80 degrees prior to the sun going down. We are completely under the lights by the time we hit kickoff here at Delta High School. Clear skies, no problems. For 8 straight weeks, that's been a check mark. 8 straight weeks of fantastic weather for high school football in the regular season. Since 1930, Lehman's Incorporated of Muncie has been providing the same quality service to heating and air conditioning units. They are the train comfort specialist of this area. Remember, it is hard to stop a train. Call for an appointment to receive a free appraisal. They're Lehman's. They're here for you. Before we take our break, before the start of this contest, here, Rob Robbins, we mentioned it at the start. When you move Evan Conley, you've got to make adjustments defensively. You got to make adjustments offensively. He was a major component on that offensive line. They move Isaiah Brewer to that spot, and then on their defensive line, they are littered with depth. Grant Williams, who had a couple of sacks in reserve through 5 games, moves to that primary defensive tackle spot. We'll still see Evan Conley in different situations, but they have him so focused on that lead back role.
They do, and it's made a huge difference for this Delta offense. Like we talked about, it adds a little bit of toughness, with a big running back like that. He's hard to bring down, and although you lose a little bit on the offensive line and obviously on the defensive line, Delta really needed that shot in the arm a couple weeks ago when they made that change.
Delta right now second place in the HHC, and that conference title sort of scenario maybe out the window at Mount Vernon. But Chris Overall mentioned, he said he's mentioned to the players that, any one game these last 2 weeks could drop them from second to fourth or fifth. So, that second place finish behind the number 1 team in 4A, that's certainly style points there, with Mount Vernon being seen as the top favorite in 4A right now.
Absolutely, and Mount Vernon is rolling every week, and if you can win this game tonight and go to New Pal next week and get a victory there, finish second, that's a goal to check off.
When we return kickoff from Delta High School, Week 8, 2 weeks before the regular season ends, Delta hosts Greenfield Central tonight. We're back with the kickoff right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national. Delaware County High School football on Muncie's Sports Station.
Thanks for listening to the Jones Auto Body pregame show. Jones Auto Body fixes paint chips, collision repair, and more. Give J.R. Fannin and his staff a call at 284-2593 so they can diagnose the problem in your car and get you back on the road. Jones Auto Body, proud to support all Delaware County schools this year, as Delta will receive the kickoff here to begin this football game. Completely dark, lights on. It is definitely Friday Night Lights, Rob Robbins, 2 weeks before the regular season ends, and we've been talking about this all week. Each coach, it's amazing how the philosophy has changed. You peak towards the postseason in most years. It's so much 1 week at a time. It always is. Coaches will tell you that, but there's no peaking to the tournament. There's a lot of work still to be done in 2 weeks left in the regular season.
There is, and both teams are looking to build on the successes that they've had. Like we talked about with Greenfield Central, they've been a doormat of the Hoosier Heritage Conference for a few years, and they've really turned it around this year with their 3 losses being to Mount Vernon, New Powell, and Pendleton, all 3 very, very good football teams.
Delta will receive the first half kickoff. Trevor Edgerton will be standing at his own 10, awaiting to receive the kick for Greenfield Central. Cody Hargett will be the man to kick away, as another meeting for these two teams, and Greenfield Central trying to do something they haven't done in this series, and that is win, and they'll have to do it here at Delta High School. As Hargett, the lefty, will move to the right-hand side. Edgerton again standing at his own 10. And the kickoff brought to you by Sheriff Gosselin Roofing. Left foot into it, and we're underway here at Delta High School. It angles to the far side. Cody Howard there picks it up at the 10, brings it up 15, middle of the field 20, runs into traffic short of the 25, down to the 24, and that'll be Delta's starting field position. Brady Hunt is the senior quarterback, 6'5". He had his best game of the season, throwing 3 touchdown passes in a win against Pendleton Heights a week ago. Evan Conley has been the feature back each of the last 2 games. He'll be the starter once again. Wide receivers are Trevor Edgerton and Logan Maynor. Wingbacks are Titus Hill and Luke Belangi. 2 wide receivers, Wright and Hunt, will be under center, starting at their own 23. In the backfield is Conley. Snap taken, stretch play left. It's Conley to the 25, lowers the shoulder and tumbles down at the 28, where he's finally stopped for a gain of about 6. The offensive line has a little bit of shakeup. The tackles are Braxton Edwards, Riley Wood, and center is Logan Mick, and right tackle is Jack Schaefer. And as we mentioned in the pregame, Isaiah Brewer now the primary starter at left guard. That was Evan Conley's spot before he was in the backfield. Here's the second down play fake. Hunt gonna dump it off near side. This is Abram Stitt, 35-40, and tracked down from his backside for a first down catch and run to the 39-yard line. That is the speed of Abram Stitt in the open field.
Well, and you can see right there the fake to Evan Conley got the Greenfield Central defense moving to the right side, and a little screen pass to Abram Stitt. Nice gain of about 14 yards.
Delta quick to the line. Here's a first down play from the 40 as Stitt the pitch outside, trying to run a long way to gain yardage upfield. Great leverage by the Greenfield Central 4-3 defense. In there from the cornerback spot, Preston Taylor made the stop after a gain of 1.
Great tackle by Taylor. You can see Abram Stitt when he gets in space. He's very shifty and quick, and nice tackle there by Mr. Taylor.
This is their best unit, the Greenfield Central defense. They allow only 18 points per game. Here's the snap and a carry from the shotgun for Conley. Runs through a tackler at the 45 and tumbles down at the 49-yard line. They talk about his open field speed. Very unique for a defensive tackle, but that's why you bring him in there to be a hammer right in the middle of the formation.
Well, all of that was yards after contact. He was hit at the line of scrimmage and carried defenders for 6 or 7 yards.
7 yards for Conley. Here's the 3rd and 3. Fake to Conley, and Hunt on a quarterback keeper will get to the Greenfield Central side of the field at the 49 near a first down, and the chains are moving. Brady Hunt gets another first down for Delta on this drive, and a smooth start, 2 first downs on the opening drive.
Yeah, Delta looks very efficient to start this game, and there you see the strength of Brady Hunt as well, and the 6'5 frame to get that first down.
Greenfield Central's defense, a 4-3 look. Joey Rowland, Sam Hall are the defensive ends. Tackles are Logan Evans and Jake Skinner. Linebackers Dewey Wolseley, Spencer Spencer Johnson and Chris O'Connor. Here's a first down play. Hunt drops back to throw. Comeback route for Carbon. New at the 40. Nearly got out of a shoelace tackle near the marker. Got the first down, but he could have had a lot more. A comeback route 9 yards deep downfield and got the extra yard for the first down and a 10-yard catch and run.
Perfect timing from Hunt to New.
Right back to the line. Delta moving quickly. They'll hammer with Connolly. Left-hand side, runs through a couple of arm tackles and stretches the football across the 30 down to the 29 for 9.5 as Evan Connolly running strong here on the first drive.
Well, and we talked about in the pregame establishing the run, and Evan Connolly is tough to bring down when he gets through that line.
And they'll give him the first down, enough for 10, and a lot of tempo for Delta on this opening drive. They started at their own 24, and 2.5 minutes gone on this drive. They're at the Greenfield Central 28 for a 1st and 10. Under center Hunt, stretch play right. It's Connolly out of a shoelace tackle, stretches the football down to the 25 for about 4 yards. Spencer Johnson from his Mike linebacker spot made the stop.
Good tackle. Again, Connolly putting his head down through the line and really gets a couple yards after contact every time.
Connolly 58 rushes this season. 57 of those came in the last 2 games. In the shotgun, Hunt on a 2nd and 7. Option play, Hunt dumps it off for Connolly, far side of the formation, looks for the 20, maybe a yard short or 2, but gets about 6 on the outer edge of the formation.
And again, you can see the quickness for as big as Evan Connolly is. I noticed they changed his number from 62 to 34.
And on the 3rd down and short, quarterback sneak, gets across the 20, and more than enough for a first down around the 18. The chains will move again. Just a lot of tempo for Delta. They're not wasting any time on drive number 1 and really getting after that really outstanding defensive line for Greenfield Central.
Yeah, putting a lot of pressure on that defensive line and getting positive yardage on each play.
And now the Delta offense will take a breather. All offensive players up on their feet looking to the sidelines for the play call. Delta inside the Greenfield Central 20 for a 1st and 10 at the 17. And the shotgun, Hunt takes the snap, rolls out right, looks to throw, sets, throws, backside throw for Trevor Edgerton, all alone at the back corner of the end zone. Touchdown. He split 2 defenders. Hunt set and made a beautiful throw from 17 yards out. They connect for 6.
Perfect play, perfectly thrown ball in the right spot, and Trevor Edgerton wide open in the end zone. And you can see Brady Hunt. You can see why the Ball State Cardinals are excited to have him next year.
Delta up 6-0. Brady Hunt throws his 9th touchdown pass of the season, 42nd of his career. And in for the extra point will be Levi Griffiths, the lefty. His brother Zion was 4 for 4 last week. Snap down, kick is up and through. Hunt to Edgerton. And Delta leads 7-0. They took 3 minutes 52 seconds to move from their own 24 for 7 points on the opening drive. 8:08 in the first. We're back with you next.
Satisfied by just one thing, so I run to the phone and dial the number for Pizza King. I'm gonna ring the king. The king delivers. I'm gonna ring the king. An incredibly delicious royal feast pizza on the best crust you ever tasted. Ring the king. Pizza King.
and wasn't exactly sure what they might do. And Brady Hunt standing at his own 20, looking indeed to punt this one away. Rashawn Street back deep to receive for the Greenfield Central Cougars at his own 31. Good stop from the Greenfield Central defense there a moment ago. Hunt with the snap. 2 steps into it and gets it away. This is a good end-over-end kick. Backing up Street. He fumbles it near the 21 and out of bounds backwards for a couple extra yards that Greenfield Central will have to move offensively, but it does, for the Cougars' benefit, go out of bounds, luckily.
Yeah, that could have been a disastrous play right there. Kind of worked out well for Greenfield that went straight out of bounds, but this is another chance for the Delta defense to get a good stop and keep them pinned in their own territory, get good field position.
Delta's defense, a 4-3 look as well. Riley Wood and Dylan Maynor are the defensive ends. Isaiah Brewer and Hunter Wallace are the inside defensive linemen. Linebackers are Mitchell Whitmer, Logan Drone, and Braxton Edwards. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 22. It's McKee faking the underneath. Nope, he gives it underneath to Sellers and gets across the 25 down to the 26, the fullback for a couple.
Nice job by the Delta defense again. This is a tough offense to play because you just don't see it very often.
This is assignment and pursuit football, and if you take one wrong step, you might have somebody go right by you. 2nd and 6 as they fake the underneath. This is McKee slipping behind tacklers. He hurdles across the 35-yard line, down around the 37, and a 1st down for Lance McKee, an 8-yard carry.
And that's exactly what we talked about, the way that they fake and the way that they move from side to side. That faked everybody out, and McKee was able to get 11 or 12 yards there for the 1st down.
520 of his 569 yards have come in the last 4 games of play as McKee fakes the carry, and here he's loose midfield, 45-40. The speed in the open field and dragged down from his backside at the Delta 33-yard line. Cody Howard may have saved a touchdown as Lance McKee for a big carry deep into Delta territory.
And Cody Howard did save a touchdown on that. McKee, great job on the fake again and just shoots through that offensive line, and he was off to the races for 34 yards.
32 yards there for Lance McKee on the carry. His longest of the year is 88 yards. He's got open field speed at quarterback, no doubt about it. 1st and 10 at the 31 as McKee fakes the inside carry, and oh man, did Riley Wooden ever come in and give him a knock after a 1-yard gain? It was Riley Wooden collapsing on the quarterback, McKee, after a very short game.
Well, that breakaway speed doesn't do any good when you run into Riley Wooden on the defensive line. That pretty much stops everybody.
So just a yard there for Lance McKee, who was injured for half the season a year ago, and they're glad to have him back, and their offense has taken another step this year, no doubt about it. As here's the give to Sellers right through the middle of the defense. 10-5 touchdown. Sellers slipped through, and Delta did not know who was going through the line, and Andrew Sellers for the touchdown. The sophomore scores and a point away from tying this football game up.
Well, great job by the Greenfield Central offensive line, opening up a huge hole, and Zeller's showing his speed there, even though he's a big, strong, powerful back.
30-yard carry for a touchdown, and a unsportsmanlike penalty on the Delta defense at the end of the play. And so Greenfield Central strikes quickly and an extra point away from tying this football game up. But they may elect to go for 2 here to maybe take the lead.
It looks like they are.
The offensive unit is back on the field. So here's Lance McKee with 3:53 left in the 1st. A big-time touchdown run from 30 yards out a moment ago. McKee under center, the wishbone look with 2 backs staggered with a fullback in front. McKee takes the snap, gives to Durnell, and Durnell powers to the goal line. Did he get in? He did. And Greenfield Central 1-point lead, 8-7 after converting on the 2-point play. 3:53 left in the 1st. Greenfield Central's first lead, 8-7. We're back after this.
Our promise to find a safe vehicle for your kids, kept. Our promise to find a truck that can tow, kept. Our promise to find a flashy summer fun sports car, kept. At the all-new Greg Hubler Ford, when we make a promise, we keep it, including our low-price promise.
And now get 1.9% financing for 60 months during the Ford Summer Sales Event.
The all-new Greg Hubler Ford. Promise kept.
Delaware County High School football on Muncie's Sports Station.
Caleb Means to kick away for Greenfield Central, picked up by Edgerton at his 10 for Delta. The 25 jukes at the 26 and brought down at that immediate spot. Greenfield Central an 8-7 lead after converting on a 30-yard touchdown run and a 2-point play with 3:47 in the first quarter. Delta will get the football back 79 yards on the ground there for Greenfield Central. That's what they do, run with volume almost 90% of the time they're running the football.
Well, they've only thrown 25 passes this year, so, that they're definitely a run-first team, and with all of those options in that wishbone offense, Delta's got to stay disciplined and stay in their gaps and try to contain it the best they can.
Delta at their own 27, 1st and 10. Deep back is Evan Conley. Stick goes in motion. They fake the pitch, and inside it's Conley powering through across the 30 in the middle of the formation. Brought down finally at the 31-yard line after a gain of 5.
And you said it a few minutes ago. That's Evan Conley's 8th carry in the first quarter, and there's still 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. He's going to be a tired man at the end of the night.
Well, Chris Overholt told me he was a consideration at running back, but they wanted to start him on the defensive line earlier this year. Here's a 2nd and 5. Hunt on a fake the pitch. Inside carry for Luke Belangi. He was bottled up at the offensive line at the line of scrimmage and somehow fought his way upfield for 3 yards.
Well, we talked about Evan Conley's strength, but Luke Belangi, for as little as he is, he pulled some defenders with him for 2 or 3 yards.
His 30th carry of the season, and Delta now on a 3rd and 2. They must convert, or Greenfield Central continues the momentum on their side. 3rd and 2 at their own 35. Stitt in motion underneath Conley, hammers ahead, and it's going to be awfully close to a first down. He might be a half a yard short. Needed the 38. The officials are both going to mark it at the 37-yard line, so a 4th and 1 coming up.
Great tackle by Greenfield. Somebody got in the backfield there. Couldn't tell who it was, but tripped up Evan Conley. He actually did a great job just to get a yard.
And Delta's offense will remain on the field for a 4th and short. Hunt under center. He sets hard count, nearly got somebody to jump, and now Hunt looks to the sidelines with 14 seconds on the play clock. Hunt with a deep back, and now a timeout will be taken from the Delta Eagles side. 2:18 left in the first. Delta trails 8-7. We're back with you after this.
In 1930, H.J. Lehman.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 21 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
Football on Muncie's Sports Station.
It appears Delta will elect to punt here as the officials stop play for a moment and bring Evan Conley to the sidelines, and another Chris Overholt timeout. It appears here with 2:18 left in the first quarter. A credit union is a member-owned financial cooperative existing for the good of its members. Your deposits are loaned to your neighbors. Together we strengthen the community. Experience what it's like to be a member. First County FCU serving Delaware County. A very tight battle early on. Delta seemed to have all the momentum driving right down the field on drive number 1. getting a 7-0 lead, and they quickly stopped after a minute on drive number 1 for Greenfield Central and looked to continue their momentum offensively. Were stopped, and then Greenfield Central had a big drive of their own, 79 yards rushing here in the first quarter. It's been a tight battle.
It has, and this is what we expected going into it. A lot of running game on both sides, and I'm excited to see what happens here because we talked about both teams running the football, and they're doing that in droves.
Looks like Delta's going to elect to punt still after taking a timeout here in the first. Might have been 2 timeouts in a row. Brady Hunt stands at his own 24 to kick this one away. The up back is Logan Drone, and Hunt will take the snap and get it away. This one high, not as deep as his first punt. Inside the 40, bounces straight up in the air at the 36 and out of bounds on the far sideline. Greenfield Central will take over from that very spot, finding their offensive momentum on that second drive with Lance McKee running the show.
Yeah, and this is a big possession here for the Delta defense. The Greenfield Central's built up some momentum, 2 stops in a row defensively, and the score last time. And this is a big possession. Can Delta stop them and get their offense back on the field?
Lance McKee will be under center, 3 backs with him, a fullback and 2 split backs. The backs are further back, and right in the middle of that formation is the fullback and double tight ends. McKee surveys a 4-man Delta front, about 9 guys in the box, as McKee fakes the inside, no gives inside, and not much room for the ball carrier. Looked like Brody Durnell on the carry for maybe 1.
Great defensive stop. I think he's going to maybe get a yard, but again, Delta did a great job of filling those gaps and keeping their eye on the ball carrier.
So now a 2nd and 9 at their own 42-yard line. No real hurry for Greenfield Central here inside 2 minutes in the first quarter. They lead by a point, 8-7. McKee looks at his wrist, now to the far sideline and to the Delta 5-man front. McKee on a 2nd and 9, a pitch outside. This is Harrell looking for the edge and maybe a yard short of the 45 to the 44. About all he could get was that 3 yards there. And here comes Evan Conley in as a sub on the defensive line for this big 3rd down and 6.
Well, and even though this is early in the game with the minute 15 left in the first quarter, this is a big play for the Delta defense. Can they get off the field and give their offense a chance to get back on?
So now a 3rd and 6 at their own 45-yard line. Delta still with 5 men on the line. McKee taking his time, eyeing the play clock and the game clock. As McKee takes the snap, fakes the inside, takes it himself, and he's denied from getting any extra yardage. May have lost a yard. Looked like Mitchell Whitmer came in there and blew him back for a loss of a couple.
That was a great defensive stop by Delta. They're going to get the ball back and maybe get some momentum back on their side here.
So Delta will force Greenfield Central to punt once again with 30 seconds left here in the first quarter. That was an excellent 3rd down stop, and Trevor Edgerton, standing at his own 30, will receive this punt from Lance McKee. He's standing at his own 30. McKee going to let the play clock roll down before he lets this one go. Right foot just a bit in front of his left, and a fake up the middle, and Delta is not fooled. They stop it from getting to the 49 of their own. Right in the middle, they stop Brody Mayberry. Actually, we have Spencer Johnson on the carry, and Delta will deny him and take over at the Greenfield Central side of the field at the 48.
Great job by the Delta special teams. Didn't expect a fake, but that's one of those plays where after you get a big stop on 3rd down that you can relax, and Delta did not, and now they're set up in great field position.
3 seconds remain in the first. Brady Hunt at the 48 of Greenfield Central takes the snap, looks to throw, throws outside quick. Carmen New at the 42-yard line, brings it ahead of the 40, down near the 35 for 13 yards and a first down, and New is down after taking a hit and slow getting up. That expires the first quarter clock, and we will head to the second quarter now. New up under his own power. We head to the second quarter. Greenfield Central leads 8-7. Second quarter when we return next here on Muncie Sports Station.
For more than 35 years, online and through our branch office locations, Ruoff Mortgage has helped people discover, finance, and move into their homes with confidence. From the moment you send in an application to the day you get the keys, Ruoff keeps things moving exceptionally fast. By sharing knowledge and professional guidance, Ruoff Mortgage helps people see the potential and excitement in the homeownership experience. Visit one of our convenient branch locations or get started online at ruoff.com.
WXFN, Muncie, 1340 AM, and W275AJ Muncie, 102.9 FM.
Delta 2nd and 5 at the 30 of Greenfield Central, right to the belly of Conley. He's on his feet near the first down marker at the 25, maybe a yard short, which sets up a 3rd and about 1, but Conley a healthy 5 or 6 yards per carry early on in this game.
Yeah, and he's dragging defenders with him and almost got the first down there, but just came up a yard short. I bet we'll see him again.
Hunt quickly to the line, quarterback sneak, and easily across the 25. May have gotten down to the 23-yard line. That quarterback sneak with that 6'5" frame is always good for 2 or 3 yards at least.
Well, when you've got a 6'5" quarterback that's as big and strong as Brady Hunt and as experienced, he knows how to get in there and get a couple yards.
So 1st and 10 at the Greenfield Central 22. Delta in great position here. They trail by a point with 11 minutes left in the first half. Hunt takes the snap on first down, looks to throw, throws deep looking for Edgerton, and a great recovery from the cornerback on that side. Hudson McGuire made up ground on Edgerton. The ball was a little underthrown in the end zone. Edgerton tried to make a play, but McGuire slapped it away for Greenfield Central.
Yeah, great play by McGuire. Kind of a little bit of hand fighting down there, but nothing worth a penalty. But Delta's going to take some shots here.
And they have early on in this game, 2nd down and 10. Now at the Greenfield Central 22 as the offense eyes the near sideline. Wide receivers in the game. It is Carmen New now, and they'll find him on a comeback route at the 16-yard line. Jukes a defender, swung down at the 15, down around the 14 for a good 8 yards on the connection. They like that comeback route and the soft coverage that they're seeing from the Greenfield Central corners.
They do, and New is the tallest Delta receiver, so they're using him a lot.
And quickly to the line, they'll give it to Conley to punch for the 2 yards on 3rd down. He gets it across the 10, down around the 9-yard line. Goal situation here for the Delta Eagles. Evan Conley for the first down.
Tripped up by 56, Logan Evans.
Delta 1st and goal at the Greenfield Central 9-yard line. On the near hash, Hunt will take the snap. This one a miscommunicated play as he was looking for the stretch play left. Conley went to the opposite side, and it was blown up in the backfield by Joey Rowland for Greenfield Central, knocking Delta back to their 16-yard line, and this is 1st and goal too, which makes it even worse.
Yeah, you're set up at the 9-yard line and ready to get into the end zone, and now you're back at the 16, and you're kind of behind the 8 ball a little bit.
So now it's 2nd and goal from the 16 as Hunt takes the step, fakes the run, dumps it underneath. He'll juke at the 15 and stretch for any positive yardage near the 10. Might be spotted at the 11. 3rd down coming up. This is likely 4-down territory for the Delta Eagles here. Again, down 8-7.
Yeah, you want to continue this momentum. This is if you're going to go for this on 4 downs, you don't have to throw this one to the end zone right now. You can if you know you're going to do 2 plays, get as much as you can here on 3rd down.
Under center, Hunt Two isolated wide receivers as Hunt takes the snap, play fake, looks left, throws left, Edgerton in the corner of the end zone, touchdown. His defender slipped behind him. It was McGuire, and Edgerton played backstop, got on his knees, and made a great catch. His second receiving touchdown here in the first half, and Delta now leads 13-8 with 9:17 in the half.
Great throw by Brady Hunt, throwing the ball only where Edgerton could catch it. Edgerton did a great job of going to his knees and securing that football. What a great play by Delta to get back on the board and take the lead.
10th passing touchdown of the year for Brady Hunt, and the 6th receiving for Trevor Edgerton. Here's Griffiths for the extra point with 9:17 left in the first half. The lefty awaits, snap down, kick is up, and it is through. 14-8, Delta leads. Second passing touchdown from Hunt to Edgerton. 9:17 left in the first half. We're back with you after this.
Gaddis Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram of Muncie is your new and used vehicle dealer in Muncie. Drive the stylish and roomy 2020 Jeep Grand Cherokee Altitude with 4-wheel drive. The 2020 Ram 2500 Laramie Crew Cab has a 6.7-liter i6 engine to get the job done. And the customizable 2020 Ram 1500 and Ram 2500 for any size workload. Gaddis Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram is on the corner of Centennial and Wheeling in Muncie. And browse the entire inventory at BillGaddisChrysler.com.
Listening to Delaware County High School football on Muncie Sports Station.
It's Rashawn Street at midfield for Greenfield Central. He's loose 45-40 on the kickoff return. 30-25 down the sideline and out of bounds at the 20. There is a flag when he crossed the 40, so this one may be coming back a bit. But a great kickoff return from Rashawn Street, who coming into the game had a long of just 24 yards, and that one good for about 55. We'll see what the penalty's all about.
Well, you could see the speed that the Street has on that field. Caught that, and he wasn't touched for about 35 yards.
And it might be a sideline warning, so this kickoff return is going to stand. A good 60-yard return for Rashawn Street for the Greenfield Central Cougars, and they'll set up at the Delta 27-yard line, it looks like. Actually, at the 20, excuse me. Big-time return from Rashawn Street. That one more like 70 yards for Street.
And we've talked about momentum so far in this game, and Delta just got it, and Greenfield took it right back, and they're set up in business here.
So Lance McKee and the offense looking to strike right back after Delta snagged back the momentum, but that kickoff return took all that away as McKee under center for the wishbone set. Two tight ends. In the middle of the set, it's Harrell and Mayberry. As they stretch play it to Mayberry, he gets across the 20, banged as he reaches the 18-yard line. The linebackers came in a hurry. Logan Drone and Braxton Edwards cut him down.
Good job by Logan Drone on that play, and Braxton Edwards, they seem to have a knack for the football, but continue to stay disciplined and stay in your gaps. This wishbone's got a lot of options, and Delta just needs to stay disciplined at this point.
Now is 2nd and 8 for McKee and Greenfield Central on the far hash. Wishbone set. McKee will take the snap and give underneath. Nope, outside. That was Harrell, and Harrell got absolutely decked after getting to the edge. It looked like it was Logan Drone again for just a gain of a couple.
Excellent hit. He wrapped him up. It was a nice hit, but a better tackle. He didn't just hit him. He wrapped him up, keep him from getting any more yards.
So now 3rd down and 5 at the Delta 15. Ball on the far hash. It is still McKee as they empty the backfield a bit, and there's one setback. McKee rolls out, looks to throw. He's rushed, collapsed apart, and sacked. Mitchell Whitmer came in. It was a sandwich play for him and Edwards all the way back to the 26. They emptied the backfield, and McKee just stood there and knew he was in danger.
And we talked about it this year that Greenfield Central's only thrown the ball 25 times, and a lot of times it's a surprise, but Delta was definitely not fooled on that play, and Whitmer and Braxton Edwards back in the backfield for a huge loss.
15th sack of the year for the Delta Eagles defense. A long fourth down play, and this is kind of one of those just see what you can get if you're Greenfield Central. McKee will take the snap and look to throw. Rushed immediately, throws over the middle, downfield for Street, and way too far for his reach. About 5 yards deep, and Delta's defense holds, turns over Greenfield Central on downs. That's a big stop because the Cougars started at the Delta 20 after that big kick return.
That's a huge stop, and we've talked about it earlier, too, with the momentum. Delta had it, Greenfield just got it back, and now Delta with that big stop has taken it back, and let's see if they can march down the field and put some more points on the board.
Delta will take over here in a moment. 7:09 left here in the first half. They lead 14-8. For more information about the YMCA of Muncie, visit them at muncieymca.org or call 281-YMCA, the Y for a better us. As they'll talk to the clock operator, Delta 2 passing touchdowns to begin this contest. On the year, they had 17 different rushing touchdowns from 7 different players and only 8 passing touchdowns, but they've used the air efficiently to get this lead as Evan Conley stretch play right in the middle of the formation across the 27-yard line for a couple right-hand side.
Good job by the Greenfield defensive line to plug up the holes that the Delta, but that's 13 carries so far in the first half for Evan Conley.
He's averaging around 27 a game the last 2, so very near his average for a half. Here's a 2nd and 9, man in motion. They'll pitch it outside. Stitt trying the sideline 30. He gets the edge to the 35. Down the sideline to the 40, and jump cuts to the 45. He stepped out at the 44, but a big-time run from Abram Stitt. That's why they have him in there. 17 yards on the edge play.
And we've talked about him when he got his first carry earlier in the game. He is fast, and he is electric, and 16 yards on that carry gets Delta in good field position again.
Now a 1st and 10 at their own 43 as Stitt moves the chains. Delta leading by a score. Under center, Hunt, double wing backs, 2 isolated receivers. Snap taken. Counter play inside. Belangi going to the far sideline. He's just fighting for any extra yardage. It gets a yard down the far sideline. He was run down by Logan Evans and Jake Skinner. A long way to just get a yard upfield.
He probably ran about 45 yards on that play to get 1, so he's going to be pretty tired for a 1-yard gain.
Now a 2nd and 9 at their own 44, and play stops for a moment. We have a timeout on the field from the Greenfield Central side, trying to give their defense a rest with 6:14 left in the first half. Delta leads 14-8. All across the country, drivers are reaping the rewards of safer driving with the updated Drive Safe and Save app from State Farm. Plus, with dynamic new features like interactive maps and driving tips, the pursuit of your discount is even easier. You can earn up to 30%. Just download the Drive Safe and Save app from State Farm to get started, or call State Farm agent Jason May at 747-7100. A very competitive battle, and both teams have done what their strengths have said. Played solid defense and run the football very well, but I think the X factor in this game has been the efficient passing that Delta has displayed to get them to this 1-score lead at the moment.
Yeah, Brady Hunt so far passing in the game is 6 for 8 with 2 touchdown passes. You can't get too much more efficient than that, and has really thrown the ball very well. But Delta's using the run game to get down the field, and then Brady Hunt's taken, and Trevor Edgerton finding the end zone twice.
Half of his passing touchdowns, Hunt that is, coming in the last 2 games. He had 3 a week ago against Pendleton Heights. Here's the 2nd and 9 at the 44 out of the timeout. Long throw near sideline for Carmen. Knew at the 49. He was looking upfield before he could secure the football. It was going to be a one-on-one play between him and Preston Taylor, but New dropped the football on the near sideline.
It looked like one of those plays where he's just trying to run with it before he actually caught it, but a nice throw by Brady Hunt, and that's what you want to do is get these receivers out one-on-one in space.
Now a 3rd and 9 at their own 44-yard line. Brady Hunt will be under center. A long 3rd down play to complete here. Set back is Conley. Hunt will take the snap. Drop back, rushed, throws, Comeback route, Carson New at the 46-yard line of Greenfield Central, and he stretches the football up the field after securing the football. First down, Delta. Hunt and New have connected several times this evening. His third catch.
Yep, another almost identical play, and this time New catches the ball and stretches out for the first down.
So Delta now on the Greenfield Central side of the field at their 45-yard line. Carson New, fourth catch of the game thus far, as the officials let Greenfield Central sub for a moment, bringing in an extra defensive tackle. Reese Hill, the freshman, in for Jake Skinner, who goes out on the far sideline. 1st and 10 at the Greenfield Central 45. Two wide receivers and double wingbacks. Conley, the deep back. They move in motion, Belangi, far side of the formation pitch. 45 down the sideline, looking for the 40. Might have gotten to the 41 for about 3 or 4.
And again, Belangi coming all the way across the field again. Like I said, he's running a lot of yards for not a lot of forward yardage.
Well, the setback before Conley was Javon Whitfield. He had been injured the last couple of weeks. He's had his helmet off the entire game. He is expected to be back tonight, but we haven't seen him yet as Conley gets the carry, handles it left-hand side, and Greenfield Central's defense responds well. Joey Rowland was the first to slow Conley down after a short 1-yard gain.
Yeah, another big third down here for both the Delta offense and the Greenfield defense. This is another momentum builder.
So a 3rd and 5 for the Delta offense at the Greenfield Central 40. Under 5 minutes left in the second. Delta leads 14-8. Hunt looking to the sideline and letting the play clock run. They're in no hurry here. 3rd and 5 at the Greenfield Central 40. Snap taken from Hunt, looks left, now throws right. Comeback route, that's Maynor at the 35, makes a man miss and tumbles near the 30-yard line. That is a senior type throw. Hunt looked left, then came back right, knew exactly where Maynor was going to be at the comeback route.
Yeah, that's something that you just can't teach, and Brady Hunt's done a great job of his career to develop that and obviously put that right on the money.
So 1st and 10 at the Greenfield Central 30. Misdirection, Hunt in danger. Looks right, rolls right, throws off his back foot. Had 2 defenders fall down, but didn't have enough arm strength to get it to Logan Maynor at the Greenfield Central 5. That could have been a walk-in touchdown, but Hunt was being chased and had to throw off his back foot incomplete.
Yeah, a little unfortunate for Delta that the 2 Greenfield Central defensive backs on the ground, and like I said, Brady Hunt getting flushed out of the pocket on the right and just couldn't quite get enough arm on it.
So now it's 2nd and 10 at the Greenfield Central 30. They are testing this Greenfield Central secondary pretty much all game. They've thrown quite a bit more than expected in this contest. 2nd and 10 at the Greenfield Central 30. Misdirection and underneath here Stitt. Looking to the edge, has the foot speed at the 30. Lowers the shoulder near the 29. Rashawn Street ran down Abram Stitt after a short gain. It looked like Stitt was going to get the edge, but Street got there in a hurry. We saw the speed on the kickoff return a moment ago.
Yeah, and that was all closing speed by Street on that play, because we've talked about how quick Abram Stitt is around the end, and he closed that gap really, really fast.
So long 3rd down play to complete here for the Delta Eagles offense. 3rd and 10 at the Greenfield Central 30 on the near hash. Hunt takes the snap, drops back, protection's good, hit as he throws. Comeback route for New at the 20. Tumbles down around the 19, got another first. Those comeback routes that time in the middle of the field. Carson New for his 5th catch and a first down.
Yeah, but they've got a connection there. I think they're going to continue to use that.
So now a 1st and 10 at the 19 is Hunt on a quarterback sneak. Got through the pile and then ran to the end zone, but the play was blown dead at the start. It's quarterback sneak on 1st down. I'm not sure if the Delta side maybe felt that was short of the marker. But it is going to be a false start on the Delta Eagles offense. So now a 1st and 15 with 3:29 left in the first half. Delta trying to go up 2 scores here. First and 15 at the Greenfield Central 24. That defense for Greenfield Central been out there quite a long time, but they've responded very well. 1st and 15 as Hunt with a pinch play left. This is Conley down to the 35, brought down by his ankles at the 24-yard line. Great open field tackle by linebacker Chris O'Connor, and Evan Conley is now down, can't get up. Ooh.
There's a flag on the play.
as the trainers will come out, and there is a flag on the play, and Conley is down, and they're attending to his right knee.
Yeah, you hope this isn't too serious, but he looked like he's having trouble getting up.
And both teams will come off the field. 3:05 left here in the first half of play. Delta leads 14-8. Meeks Mortuary and Crematory is a proud supporter of high school sports on the radio. They'd like to wish good luck to all Delaware County athletes this year. Compete with passion, character, and respect. Evan Conley gets up and walks with a noticeable limp to the sidelines, but by himself. That seems to be good news. They'll attend to him on the sideline. He'll take off his helmet. And so now coming into the game will be Ian Rinbarger. Javon Whitfield still there down on the sidelines. It was a penalty, I believe, on Greenfield Central on the tackle on Evan Conley. So Delta will have a first down, I believe, at the Greenfield Central 13-yard line with 3:05 left in the first half.
Well, this is going to be another big possession here. I think it's going to be an automatic first down, and if Delta can punch this in, Greenfield Central doesn't quite have the firepower to get down the field in less than 3 minutes with the way they run the football.
Ian Renbarger will be the setback. Just 9 rushes this year, 59 yards on the year. He had a couple of carries in the Shelbyville blowout win. Other than that, just sporadic carries here or there. 1st and 10 at the 13. Stretch play left. This is Renbarger to the edge, 10, and cut out of bounds inside the 10, actually right at the 10-yard line for 3 yards as he ran out of space on the sideline.
Well, nothing like giving it to the guy off the bench right off the bat. Let him get the first down for you.
Well, he's fresh. That's what they say, right?
Right.
Stops the clock at 2:54 left in the first half. Now a 2nd and about 1 after that penalty. So Hunt goes right to the line. Will take the snap, fake the stretch play, rolls right, throws right to the end zone. High throw looking for Belangi. His fingertips touched it, but he couldn't reel it in. Incomplete. Now a 3rd and 1 at the Greenfield Central 10 with 2:49 left in the half.
I really like that play call. He had Belangi in the end zone right there, just a little too tall on the throw, but with 2nd and short, I really like that call to try to get in the end zone.
And I would expect a quarterback sneak here from Brady Hunt. It's been so successful. Here's the 3rd and 1. They get a defender to jump. It was nose tackle Jake Skinner who jumped across the line. Hunt was ready for a quarterback sneak, but Greenfield Central gave him a gift instead. It'll be 1st and goal after the Greenfield Central penalty.
He did. Nice hard count by Brady Hunt to get the Greenfield Central guy little too antsy on the line, and he's done that so much tonight that you can't blame the Greenfield Central guy.
And Delta back to the line with tempo across the 5 on a quarterback keeper for Hunt. Stretches the football near the 3-yard line on 1st and goal from the 5. Here's 2nd and goal now.
Well, and you might get 3 quarterback sneaks here the way that as big and strong as Brady Hunt is to get in the end zone here.
Hunt has 3 rushing touchdowns on the year and 11 in his career. So Hunt taking his time. They're going to let this clock run and not leave his few moments on the clock for Greenfield Central here as Hunt, stretch play left. This is Renbarger looking for the pylon. He's going to be a yard short. That last hit at the end of the play, and Renbarger knew it. He was that close. Great tackle by McGuire right at the goal line to prevent the score, but it is 3rd and inches. Now Hunt, snap, quarterback sneak. He stood up at the line. No signal yet. They may not give him the touchdown. They do not. So there'll be a 4th and goal here. Hunt was stood up from the start, literally needed inches to get to the end zone. And now Delta's going to take its time on a 4th and short with 1:40 and counting left in the first half.
Yeah, it looked like the initial push he might have gotten in, but he definitely, as the play developed, did not appear to be in the end zone.
So now 1:30 and counting as Delta's Hunt looks to his wrist, takes the snap, it appears, stretches the football for Evan Conley. Did he get there? No, he did not. They stop him at the goal line. That was Evan Conley coming back in, and Greenfield Central holds up on the goal line and take over in the shadow of their own goal at their one with 1:17 in the half. What a stop from that defensive line.
What a huge defensive stop from Greenfield Central. And you know, that could have been a 21-8 ball game going into the half, but, you know, Greenfield, huge defensive stop.
Man. Now let's see what Delta has in store. They've got Greenfield Central literally inches into their own end zone. 1st and 10, literally at the half-inch line for Greenfield Central. It'll be McKee under center. He'll just sneak it ahead, try to gain as much space as possible. May have stretched the football out to the 2. I would imagine Greenfield Central is just going to let this clock go to the second half. They get the second half kickoff. That was a gigantic stop from their defensive unit.
Absolutely, and if you're Greenfield Central, you'll see right here, they're not in any hurry, and they're going to be content, I think, to go into halftime down 14-8.
Greenfield Central's offensive unit standing up and just eyeing that clock, and man, 4 chances from the 5-yard line for Delta's offense and could not punch it in. Part execution, but also part, got to give credit to Greenfield Central. It's another sneak up the middle, and the play stopped around the 7-yard line for a gain of 3 or 4. And Hunt is still talking on the sidelines about what he saw, and, you know, I think he thought maybe he got in on that initial quarterback sneak, but I think that may end up being the half there after that last quarterback sneak from McKee. And what a wild way to end the half. It looked almost definitely going to be a 2-score game for Delta heading into halftime. Instead, it remains 14-8. Delta leads by 6 as we head to the Mancinos of Muncie halftime show. That's next here on Muncie Sports Station.
The legacy I want to leave behind is a better world. My father was in the Army, my grandfather was in Vietnam, my uncle was in Vietnam. It's just in my blood. It's amazing. It's a beautiful thing once you look at it and see the bigger picture of it all. I just feel like we don't have enough people who want to step up and lead anymore. That's how I try to live my everyday life. I try to just help young people. That's our future. And so if we can build them up at a young age, it's their world at that point. I just want this world to be better than what I came into. The legacy I want to leave is just to build young people and to make them stronger, mentally and physically. I'm Private Christian Sufront. I'm a 92 Yankee Unit Supply Specialist with the Tennessee National Guard.
Sparks Computerized Car Care on West Bethel Avenue in Muncie is your complete auto service and maintenance shop in Muncie. Family owned and operated since 1990 with over 100 years of combined experience. Standard maintenance, tire service, brake repair, engine, transmission, and more. Sparks Computerized Car Care will take care of you bumper to bumper. Schedule an appointment online at sparksauto.net. That's sparksauto.net. Sparks Computerized Car Care in Muncie.
One thing, so I run to the phone and dial the number for Pizza King. I'm gonna ring the king. The king delivers. I'm gonna ring the king. An incredibly delicious royal beef pizza on the best crust you ever tasted. Ring the king. Pizza King.
Our promise to find a safer, fun sports car kept. At the all-new Greg Hubler Ford, when we make a promise, we keep it, including our low price promise.
And now get 1.9% financing for 60 months during the Ford Summer Sales Event.
The all-new Greg Hubler Ford. Promise kept.
changes. I think you continue to run the football, do what you do, and for Delta, I think it's continue to look for that big play. All of Brady Hunt's completions, but that big play might be there. They've had that kind of curl route with Carson New, and that may set up a fake and stop and go later in the game.
At the half, Delta leads 14-8 over the Greenfield Central Cougars. More coming on the Man City.
For more information, call Albany Healthcare, 794423.
Hi, this is David Cox, president of the Meeks Mortuary and Crematory.
Indiana student athletes that participate across 21 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stake AA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to
For more homes with confidence. From the moment you send in an application to the day you get the keys, Rudolph keeps things ownership experience. Visit one of our convenient branch locations or get started online.
Back originated from the Henry Community Health broadcast booth tonight with the best seat in the house here at Delta High. Check out the different methods they have available and what they could do for you and relieve chronic pain now. 35-0 lead over Muncie Central late in the first half. It's a 21-0, 37-7 at last count. That one entering the third quarter of play. And Westdale at MJ's Mobile Detailing and Pressure Washing, with them making taking care of your car simple. We all struggle with trying to detailing, a proud supporter of Delaware County High School sports. 14-8 lead for Delta at halftime when we return the second half next here on
Strong Challenge. Here's your commitment. 20 minutes per day, 5 days a week from your living room. The fitness plan is not only challenging you physically, it's a family about this free 6-week Strong Challenge from the YMCA of Muncie. It begins Monday, October 19th. The Y for a better Saturday from 12 to 4 Sunday. Feel more comfortable shopping privately? Not a problem. We're making private appointments daily. On Nebo Road in Muncie. Walls Furniture. Hey, whenever you need your car fixed, go to Jones Auto Body. That's the choice you need to make. Their experience and expertise will help you diagnose and line. Jones Auto Body can help. Visit them off Memorial Avenue or give J.R. Fannin and his staff a call at 284-2593. Get started. Jones Auto Body. Midtown can install new systems and maintain and repair your current one. And remember, every election year, you should have your septic system pumped for optimum effectiveness. Check out Reed's Plumbing on Facebook for more information. And in the monthly great deal called The Best, flush the rest. Reed's Plumbing in Yorktown, 744-7950.
University Avenue Dental and Dr. Greg Pyle are focused on your total health. And now for more experience, they've added a Central Indiana native, Dr. Nick Muchaham, to strengthen their community, and Patient Focal is proud to be in this community and support local athletics. For more information, visit drgregpyle.com. That's drgregpyle.com on how they can help you.
It seems like applying for a car loan can take forever. Me too. I got my car loan at my credit union. From there, it was just open road.
First County Federal Credit Union. All new, all yours. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit us online at firstcountyfcu.org.
Full meal deal is available at Mancino's in Muncie. Your favorite pizza grinder finished off with a visit next door to the sweet shop. Come in or pick up if you're on the go. Mancino's in Muncie on Bethel Avenue, a passionate supporter of high school sports in our community.
Get your offense back on the field and get some more points on the board. If you're Greenfield, you want to continue to run the football the way you do. Don't try to get away, from what you've been doing that we saw earlier in the first half.
Delta leading 14-8 at halftime, and they will kick off to the Greenfield Central Cougars from left to right. They will move as for Greenfield Central on the defensive side late in the first half. And so with that, it puts Greenfield Central in a position where, with a good drive here, they could take right back the lead and kind of keep pace here, rather than it being a two-score game for Delta.
Absolutely. They would have been behind the eight ball with the way they run their offense, and that would stop is
I think the kicking unit may have gone ahead of Griffiths, who was chomping the kick for an onside kick. And so that is a penalty. Those
well, an interesting strategy to start the second half. I don't think we'll see the onside kick here again, but Delta, being very aggressive with that kickoff and start with the onside kick just offsides.
So now they're going to chat about what to do, because that was a deliberate onside kick. The formation hasn't changed so Griffiths waits again, and here he goes, and now squips it up the middle. High bouncer, and Street lets it go past him. Now picks it up, and in trouble as stick goes for the legs of Street. Street loose as he gets across the 30 down to the 31. Pretty decent return, all things considered.
Well, that gives coaches nightmares when you see a ball bouncing around like that on a kickoff, and because that's a live ball, and Street did a great job of picking it up and gaining 12 or 15 yards after he picked it up.
So it'll be Greenfield Central starting at their own 32-yard line, and here we go for the more plays from scrimmage for Delta in the first half than Greenfield Central, but doesn't matter. They've got a chance on this drive, if they have a good one, to be able to take the lead.
Absolutely, and if you're Greenfield Central, you want to do what you do, and they would love to march down the field and score here, but they'd also like to take 5 or 6 minutes off the clock as well.
That's what this wishbone offense does at their own 32, 1st and 10. It is McKee under center. Delta packs the line as here's a stretch play for Mayberry. He stretches the football across the 35 down around the 36-yard line. Quarterback in this matchup a year ago because of the injury to Lance McKee, and he struggled. He had 3 fumbles on his own. Now a 2nd and 8 after the 2-yard carry. McKee will take the snap and give to Harrell as he punches his way near the 40 down around the 39-yard line for another 2-yard short gain.
And early in the third quarter here, we have a big 3rd and 6 coming up for Greenfield, and if Delta can get off the field, again, we talked about that momentum. It could swing right back to the Delta Eagles.
3rd and 6 at their own 30 left, and that's Mayberry, and he will be stopped at the 39, and then the ball's loose at the end. I think Delta stripped it away. Maybe. No, maybe not. They just dragged back the ball carrier near the 35-yard line. Mayberry was stood up, and Delta forces a quick 3-and-out for the Greenfield Central Cougars. The Cougars will punt.
And that's exactly what the doctor ordered for Delta right here. And Greenfield Central ran a fake punt early in the first half. And if you're Delta, you got to be aware of that again.
Trevor Edgerton, dangerous, standing at his own 31 for Delta. High snap as McKee will get it away. This one end over end good, and Edgerton going to let it go. Great bounce for Greenfield Central. It'll be inside the 10, down around the 9.5-yard line. What a great punt for Lance McKee. That one near 51 yards.
That's you talk about flipping field position with one play, and Delta did the right thing of getting away from the punt because it wasn't anywhere near the receiver, and you couldn't have got a better bounce from your Greenfield Central.
Well, the Cougars, if they can't have a long offensive drive, that's exactly what they would like to do opposite. As Delta opens up in a shotgun look. Hunt on a 1st and 10 takes the snap and gives to Evan Conley in the shotgun across on a sweep to the 12-yard line for a short gain of 2. Conley had some big chunks early on in the game, but since has the defensive line for Greenfield Central has responded well.
They've done a good job, but what Delta wants to do is continue to grind with Evan Conley, and one of these times they're hoping he'll break one.
2 wide receivers right as Hunt takes the snap on 2nd down. It's a read option, and Hunt slips through the 20 and upended near the 24-yard line. They'll mark him actually at the 26, a read option, and Hunt slipped through the middle of the formation for a big 14-yard run.
And great read by Brady Hunt, and moving the sticks and getting that initial first down of the second half.
So 1st down and 10 at the 26. The mobility of Brady Hunt much more on display this year than in years past, as Hunt will be under center, 2 wide receivers, man in motion. They'll give it underneath Conley, hammering ahead, and middle of the field gets down to the 24-yard line for a couple gained, or 29-yard line, I should say.
And Delta's continuing to do what they do, and Evan Conley is, like I said, I think he's going to break one here in just a minute, because that Greenfield defense has been out there for a long time tonight.
A 4-by-1 runner at the size of 6'1", 215. He's averaging 7 yards a carry coming into tonight and has carries of 57 and 70 yards this year. Hunt on a 2nd down, quick throw near side. New on a comeback route at the 35, went off his fingertips. That was a bad ball from Hunt. New was in perfect position. The corner, Preston Taylor, was charging, but it wasn't a great ball from Brady Hunt.
No, it looked a little bit high into the left, and New did a nice job just to get a hand on it and try to haul it in, but brings up a big 3rd down here for both teams to see if Delta can stay on the field and keep pressure on that Greenfield defense.
3rd and 7 now for Delta at their own 29 in the shotgun. Hunt with 3 wide receivers takes the snap, rolls right, rush, stands in, throws down the field. Tight window for Carson New. Had the football, but it was wrestled free at midfield by Rashawn Street. New had it in his chest, and Street knocked it away. Rashawn Street has had an excellent football game and forces a punt here for the Delta Eagles. What a great play from the safety.
And that was just a great individual play. You said it best. The ball was thrown well. Carson New did a great job of corralling the ball, and Street just made a great individual play to knock it free.
Well, and Brady Hunt threw it in a very tight window perfectly. That was just a great play by the secondary man. As Hunt for the punt, a short kick that will take a Delta bounce out of bounds on the far sideline. At the 46-yard line, that's where Greenfield Central will take over. Their defense responds again, Rob Robbins.
They did, and again, Greenfield flipped the field position with that punt that went 50, 52, 53 yards, and they're going to get the ball close to midfield. And if you're Greenfield Central's offense, this is exactly what you want.
Reed's Plumbing in Yorktown takes pride in supporting Delaware County student athletes. Call today 744-7950 to find out how they can help you. Call the best, flush the rest. It's Reed's Plumbing in Yorktown. Delta Greenfield Central first and 10 at their 46-yard line. McKee on the keeper right across midfield down near the 49-yard line on the Delta side for 3.
And just grinding out more yardage. And like I said, if you're Greenfield Central, you want a long, sustained drive here. And if it takes up most of the rest of the quarter, if you can put points on the board, you consider that a huge victory.
4 straight 100-yard games for Lance McKee on the ground. Here's the 2nd and 7. They fake the underneath, and McKee loose on the far side, 40, 35-30, down the sideline and ducks out of bounds at the 27-yard line. That's what he does so well, the misdirection. He's got speed in the open field, but it's more so the defense locating a different ball carrier. McKee slipped out of the backfield for 21.
He did, and Luke Belangi did a nice job, took a good angle to push him out of bounds, because had he not done that, that was nothing but green turf in front of him.
So Lance McKee now for a 1st and 10 at the 28 of Delta. Okay, Greenfield Central trails by just 6. Under center McKee fakes the end around, and McKee loose again. This time a great tackle in the backfield. Luke Belangi from his safety spot for a tackle for loss back to the 30-yard line. He undercut the legs of quarterback Lance McKee.
Great individual tackle by Luke Belangi. Those guys are getting to know each other pretty well here as the game progresses. Luke Belangi and McKee have been around each other all night, and just a great open field tackle by Belangi.
Belangi's first tackle for loss on the season now sets up a 2nd and 12 for the Greenfield Central offense at the Delta 30 in the middle of the field. McKee and the offensive line standing up, now getting set. Wishbone look, double tight ends. McKee will take the snap, fake the inside, take it outside, and tumble down and falls backwards down to the 28-yard line into the arms of an outside linebacker for the Delta Eagles for a gain of 2. Long 3rd down play coming up here.
Yep, and this may be 4-down territory here for Greenfield. So this 3rd down play, you might force Greenfield Central into a passing situation, which they don't do very often.
It'll be 3rd and 11 at the Delta 29-yard line. Under 7 minutes in the 3rd. Delta leads 14-8. McKee walks back to the line of scrimmage. Has tight ends outset of the line. They are standing up in a wingback set. They now bring Rashawn Street as a wide receiver left. McKee will take the snap. Play fake. Looks left. Throws left on a comeback route. And Street has it at the 21-yard line and then stretches upfield across the 20 down to the 19. Near a 1st down, but it'll be a 4th down and very, very short. As that's when they bring Street in, that's exactly what they're doing. They're throwing the football as Greenfield Central quickly to the line on a 4th and 1 at the 19. McKee eyes the far sideline. Now the play clock. McKee under center. Will take the snap, run ahead, push ahead from his backs, and it's going to depend on the spot. I think it's enough. Actually, he gets way further beyond. The officials never blew the play dead. And McKee gets to the 17. It's a 1st down for Greenfield Central.
Yeah, great push by the offensive line. Once McKee got through the line, they pushed him ahead by another 2 or 3 yards.
So Greenfield Central 1st and 10 at the Delta 16-yard line. So methodical, eating up clock. It's a perfect recipe for success for this Greenfield Central crew. Double backs, it's Mayberry and Harrell. Sellers is the fullback as McKee on 1st down fakes the underneath and then swallowed up in the interior. Underneath it was, it looked like it was Delta's Braxton Edwards who collapsed on Lance McKee after a very short game.
Yep, good job by Braxton Edwards and the Delta defense to keep an eye on McKee there. He's keeping the ball a lot this drive, and Delta's keying in on that.
A couple gained for McKee, though, on that carry as the clock ticks inside 5 minutes in the third quarter. 2nd and 8 at the Delta 13. McKee will take the snap and stretch play left as Mayberry runs into his own blocker and then brought down in the backfield. Eating up the block was Grant Williams and pushed the blocker back into Mayberry for a loss of a couple.
And we're back to the original line of scrimmage. Great penetration by Grant Williams and not a whole lot there for Greenfield Central.
Williams starting at defensive tackle after Dylan Maynor now goes to the outside at defensive end. And Williams now with his 2nd tackle for loss this season. Here's the 3rd and 10 as they bring the wide receiver in. McKee rushed. He's in trouble. Steps right into the rush. And Braxton Edwards gets the sack. Oh, man, he jumped right into the pocket of Braxton Edwards. And Braxton now has his 2nd sack of the season.
And a great individual effort by Braxton Edwards. McKee, as he dropped back to pass, he tried to step up into the pocket, and Braxton Edwards was right there waiting for him.
So now a 4th and 12, and where Greenfield Central is, they're going to have to force this one, and they'll keep their throwing style offense back in the game as Greenfield Central standing around likely will take a timeout once this play clock trickles down. Great rush from the Delta Eagles side as Greenfield Central boasts they love their offensive line, thinks it's their strength, but that's the 2nd sack of the game for the Delta Eagles, 16th of the year. Clock stops at 3:34 after a Greenfield Central timeout. Delta leads 14-8 late in the 3rd. We're back after this.
Gaddis Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram of Muncie is your new and used vehicle dealer in Muncie. Drive the stylish and roomy 2020 Jeep Grand Cherokee Altitude with 4-wheel drive. The 2020 Ram 2500 Laramie Crew Cab has a 6.7-liter i6 engine to get the job done. And the customizable 2020 Ram 1500 and Ram 2500 for any size workload. Gaddis Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram is on the corner of Centennial and Wheeling in Muncie. And browse the entire inventory at BillGaddisChrysler.com.
Delaware County High School football on Muncie's Sports Station.
Tuffy Auto Service isn't going to sell you a bunch of stuff you don't need. Rather, they will educate you and let you make the decision on what's best. Tuffy Auto Service on McGalliard Road, just east of Wheeling Avenue. As Greenfield Central going to like to try to kick a field goal, it's Caleb Means. This is going to be about a 40-yard field goal. Snap down kick is up. The kick is definitely not long enough as it goes underneath the crossbar. It is no good, and Delta holds. They'll take over at their own 17-yard line after the missed field goal.
Big momentum shift there. Greenfield Central, trying that field goal. I'm not sure what, his range is, but just came up a little bit short.
Delta will take over for 1st and 10 at their own 20. It was a 14-8 game at halftime. It is a 14-8 game with 3:34 left in the 3rd. Hunt in the shotgun, 2 wide receivers left. On a 1st and 10, takes the snap, gives to Conley from the shotgun, slips out of a shoelace tackle, stretches the football to the 25 for a 5-yard gain in the middle of the field.
And again, Delta's content. Keep the ball on the ground, let Evan Conley continue to grind on the Greenfield defense.
And now a offensive lineman for Delta, Jack Schaefer, was trying to get off the field, could not, and now down on the field. And so they will attend to the senior, Jack Schaefer. 4 seniors on this offensive line, and he was a young man that emerged last year starting for Riley Wooden after Wooden was out for 3-4 games last year, and that'd be a big loss as you would have to shift around your offensive line. You've already had to do that once over the last 2 weeks with Evan Conley going to the backfield. Isaiah Brewer was the backup at both tackle spots and both guard spots.
Yeah, when you make a change like that for Delta, and you've got that next man up mentality always with the, in football, we hear that with professional teams and things, but it does get a little bit difficult, especially when you move one to a running back and have to, kind of makeshift your offensive line and try to do it again, but he looks like he's going to be all right.
And Schaefer up. He wanted to go back to the huddle. He's got to come out for a play. Yeah, that's not how that works, young man, but you got to love the field to get back into the game. The full meal deal is available at Mancino's in Muncie. Your favorite pizza or grinder finished off with a visit next door to the sweet shop. Come in or pick up if you're on the go. Mancino's in Muncie on Bethel Avenue, a passionate supporter of high school sports in our community. After the injury, it's Delta a 2nd and 5 at their own 25. Hunt in the shotgun, 2 wide receivers left, takes the snap, gives to Conley, and just fights for what he can find, which is 1 yard to the 26-yard line. Great play in the backfield. That was Spencer Johnson, who is their leading tackler at middle linebacker, who cut underneath.
And Greenfield's done a great job of keeping Evan Conley in under wraps here. You know, he had 24 carries on his first 3 yards, and his longest carry after that has been 5 or 6 yards.
So a 3rd and 4 for Delta need to be picked up at their own 26. Hunt drops back to pass. He's rushed, steps in and runs. 30, 35, and stretches the football there. Great decision by Brady Hunt, and he had a gap as he slipped through a tight hole. First down for the Delta Eagles on the Hunt run for about 10.
And that's just experience. That's a quarterback that's been around, and he knows what to do. He didn't try to force a pass, saw the opening, and knew that they needed a first down and got it for him.
How many times has Brady Hunt run for first downs this evening? It's been vital as Hunt on a 1st and 10 from the 35. Play fake, and will run it himself to the 40, 45, midfield, still on his feet at the Greenfield Central side of the field, and across the 45. He's down at the 41. Ball's out at the end. Was he down by contact? It appears that's the case. So Brady Hunt with a 24-yard run and a first down.
Well, and you see the athleticism of Brady Hunt, not only the speed, but not afraid to put his head down and run over a Greenfield Central defender in the secondary.
So Delta now sets up a 1st and 10 at the Greenfield Central 42. Snap for Hunt, right up the middle. It's Conley, slowed down as he approached the 40, down to the 39-yard line for about 3.
And again, Evan Conley racking up the carries. That's 22 carries so far tonight for Evan Conley.
Only 2 for Conley. As we're nearing the end of the 3rd quarter, Delta leads 14-8, 1:42 and counting in the 3rd. 2nd and 8 at the Greenfield Central 40. Hunt drops back to throw. Quick throw, near side. Timing route from Maynor. Gets out of a tackle. Almost cut loose to the 25. But Rashawn Street saves a touchdown. Maynor brought down at the 24 after a 16-yard catch. It is another Delta first down.
And again, that's something that you can't teach. And if you're obviously, if you're not watching the game, the pass was to the inside for Logan Maynor on the route, which led him into the run that helped him gain 3 or 4 more yards.
Here's a 1st and 10, quick for Hunt, taking a shot to the end zone. Edgerton behind his defender, and he drops it in. Touchdown! The 3rd connection between Hunt and Edgerton. It's been money all night and money for a 3rd time. Delta extends their lead to 2 scores. They lead 20-8 with 1:14 left in the 3rd.
What a beautifully thrown ball by Brady Hunt. Edgerton just a couple steps in front of his defender, and Brady Hunt dropped it right in the bucket for him.
The 3rd touchdown of the night for Brady Hunt, the 3rd receiving touchdown of the evening for Trevor Edgerton, his 7th of the year, the 11th passing touchdown of the year for Brady Hunt, and his 44th of his career. That's back-to-back weeks of 3 touchdown games for Brady Hunt through the air. It's Griffiths for the extra point, snap down, the kick is up. That was a line drive kick, and let's see. It's offsides on the Greenfield Central side, and the kick, I don't think they ever signaled that the kick was good or not.
I didn't see a signal from either official.
Was the kick good? I don't think it was, so they're going to redo it because the Greenfield Central side was offsides, which may have gifted Delta another opportunity on this extra point. Every kick from Griffiths has been high arcing. That one was low line drive. It might have been a little outside the right upright.
Yeah, there was a Greenfield Central guy, a lineman coming from the outside that was almost there to block it, and the kick was definitely low.
So they'll try it again.
Offsides on Greenfield.
And now Delta's going in for a 2-point try with 1:14 left here in the 3rd quarter. They lead 20-8. It is Brady Hunt with the setback. Conley, double wing backs and 2 wide receivers. Hunt will take the snap, move Belangi in motion, Stitt in motion. They'll get it to him, tries to beat his defender to the edge, it slips in on the far side. It's a 2-point conversion. Delta leads 22-8 with 1:14 left in the 3rd. We're back with you next.
Sparks Computerized Car Care on West Bethel Avenue in Muncie is your complete auto service and maintenance shop in Muncie. Family owned and operated since 1990 with over 100 years of combined experience. Standard maintenance, tire service, brake repair, engine, transmission, and more. Sparks Computerized Car Care will take care of you bumper to bumper. Schedule an appointment online at sparksauto.net. That's sparksauto.net. Sparks Computerized Car Care in Muncie.
Flying in for the stop right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, if you're a linebacker, that's what you live for, is somebody to hold somebody up so you can lay them out, and Braxton Edwards certainly did that.
Joey Rowland's fourth rush of the year, and it was a big hit on the defensive end on the defensive side, and Braxton Edwards has been all over it today. Here's the wishbone on the 2nd and 10 from the 39. McKee fakes the underneath, nope, gives it to Sellers. Across the 40, down around the 41 for maybe one, and a long third down coming up for Greenfield Central.
And if you're Greenfield Central, this is not what you want. You're not a passing team. You're kind of deep in your own territory here. Not really 4-down territory, but this is a big third down if you're Greenfield Central.
3rd and 8 at their own 41. McKee eyes the clock, and that will expire the third quarter. When we start the fourth, the 3rd and 8 for Greenfield Central. Delta leads 22-8. We're back with you for the fourth after this.
Still a good game going, though.
Yeah.
What is going on with your car? Go get the problem fixed and get back on the road again.
Tell you what, Greenfield Central.
Our promise to find a safe vehicle for your kids, kept. Our promise to find a truck that can tow, kept. Our promise to find a flashy summer fun sports car, kept. At the all-new Greg Hubler Ford, when we make a promise, we keep it, including our low price promise.
And now get 1.9% financing for 60 months during the Ford Summer Sales Event.
The all-new Greg Hubler Ford. Promise kept.
Gaddis Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram of Muncie is your new and used vehicle dealer in Muncie. Drive the stylish and roomy 2020 Jeep Grand Cherokee Altitude with 4-wheel drive. The 2020 Ram 2500 Laramie Crew Cab has a 6.7-liter i6 engine to get the job done. And the customizable 2020 Ram 1500 and Ram 2500 for any size workload. Gaddis Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram is on the corner of Centennial and Wheeling in Muncie. And browse the entire inventory at BillGaddisChrysler.com.
Started the fourth. Greenfield Central trails by 2 scores, and on this 3rd and 8, it looks like Greenfield Central may have jumped. It was Kyle Proper, I think, who jumped the right tackle for Greenfield Central on a 5-yard penalty. It was already a 3rd and 8 for a run-first team. This puts them in a very difficult situation.
Yeah, this is a real bad spot when you're not a passing team, and as the time gets closer to the end of the game, you wonder if this is still 4-down territory for Greenfield Central.
So they bring in Rashawn Street and going to open up the offense a bit with Lance McKee. They've connected a couple of times in this game. It's a 3rd and 13 at their own 36. Man in motion as McKee drops back. Rushed. Edwards misses McKee, and McKee will slip out of the backfield 40 to the 45 and cut down a couple yards short of the first. McKee made something out of nothing after Edwards had a near sack in the backfield. This will be a 4th and 3, and I think Greenfield Central may punt this one.
That was a great individual effort by Lance McKee. Braxton Edwards had him dead to rights in the backfield, and now 4th and 2, 4th and 3. This is definitely manageable for Greenfield.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go for it. Originally, it looked like the punting formation was coming onto the field, and the offense remains 4th and 3 at their own 47. 3 yards needed for a first. Wide receiver right as McKee moves a man in motion. They give it up the middle. McKee in the backfield, and he'll slip and get to the midfield marker for a first down, and the man was down because the ball came loose at the end. It looked like it was Brody Mayberry who got the first down. McKee faked it underneath and then gave to Mayberry, and he did the rest to get to the Delta side of the field at the 49.
He didn't get it by much, but that second, third, and even fourth effort just reached the ball across the line to gain.
1st and 10 at the Delta 49-yard line for Greenfield Central, trailing by 14 points. Lance McKee with 3 backs with him. They do have a wide receiver isolated to the right-hand side. McKee will take the snap, fake the underneath. McKee on an option play. Near side Harrell, 45-40, tries the edge to the 35 and out of bounds. He runs out near the 32-yard line. There is a flag at the collision on the sideline. I don't know if this is Delta hitting out of bounds or if it's a hold ahead of the play. Let's see. It's a hold on Greenfield Central.
And that's a backbreaker right there, because where the flag came in, I'm not sure exactly where the hold was, but where the flag came in was nowhere near the play, and that play was headed out of bounds.
Braden Harrell was the man on the carry. He was the leading rusher for Greenfield Central last year. And, get used to this Greenfield Central offense. Minus senior quarterback Lance McKee, all 3 playmakers in the backfield. Sellers, Mayberry, and Harrell are all sophomores. This set will continue next year. 2nd and 10 at the 45 of Delta after the penalty, as a pitch outside. Mayberry tries the 40 and it backs his way inside the 40 down to the 39. Great pitch by Lance McKee that gets Greenfield Central awfully near a first down. They'll be about a yard short for a 3rd down and a half a yard.
And again, Greenfield, not in any hurry really. They're still in this ball game. 10 minutes over 10 minutes left, and plenty of time for them.
Now a 3rd and 1 at the 40. As McKee moves a man in motion, takes the underneath, looks to pitch outside, and he'll get decked. He was indecisive and in there in a hurry. Luke Belangi, we've said his name a couple of times. Another tackle for loss, his 2nd of the game.
That was a big play, because that option from Greenfield Central has worked a few times, and we talked about it earlier. Lance McKee and Luke Belangi are becoming real good friends out there tonight.
Not sure if Belangi's been as cordial as McKee has, but we'll see. 3rd and 4. It'll be a 4th and 4 now, or 3rd down and 4, excuse me, for Greenfield Central here. Snap from McKee underneath. It was the fullback, but McKee slipped down to the backfield. He was the ball carrier down to the 39. Should be very close to a first down.
I think
the Delta fans thought for sure the fullback had it, and that's what that wishbone offense does. It fools everybody, including the defense, the fans, and sometimes the broadcast team.
And he fooled me, so I'll admit I thought the fullback had the ball too.
So it's 1st and 10 after Lance McKee keeps it. And so 1st and 10 at the Delta 39. Wide receiver isolated left. Snap taken from McKee. He'll look to throw. Good protection. Throws downfield. Long comeback route. Street caught it at the 30, and 9.5 yards he gets as he slipped to the ground. The Delta corner slipped, and if Street keeps his feet under him, that's 6.
That is a very, very fortunate play if you're the Delta Eagles, because the cornerback slipped and Rashawn Street slipped as well. And had that not happened, there was nobody else on the sidelines.
So now 2nd and 1 for Lance McKee and Greenfield Central. They will give underneath. This is Brady Durnell, left-hand side, across the 30, down near the 26-yard line. It's enough for a first down.
And again, Greenfield Central slowly moving it down the field. If you're Delta, you're not angry about this either, because they're eating up a lot of clock with this drive.
Street, the isolated receiver right. McKee on a 1st and 10 at the Delta 27. McKee drops back to throw, looks right, now looks over the middle, flushes left, looks to run, it gets out of a tackle and just has to duck out of bounds for a positive gain of a yard or 2.
Good coverage downfield by Delta. Sometimes it's hard as a defensive back or a safety when you see run after run after run after run to be ready for a pass, and great coverage by the Delta secondary.
So just a yard for Lance McKee on the keeper. Now a 2nd and about 9.5 at the 27 of Delta. McKee's been under center all night long. They go back to a double wing set. Man in motion. McKee will go underneath. This is Harrell. Across the middle to the 10, to the 5, and into the end zone. Touchdown. Looks like Braden Harrell goes into the end zone for Greenfield Central from about 27 yards out. And Greenfield Central strikes within 8. 22-14 with 8:02 to play.
Great run up the middle. McKee's been keeping that option play most of the half, and giving it to the fullback on that one just fooled the Delta defense.
What a great play by Braden Arrow. They'll stay on the field and go for 2. Not a very reliable kicker is part of the reason for this, as McKee will take the snap and give to Harrell. He will get into the end zone, it appears. Yes, touchdown. And it is a 6-point contest. 8:02 to play. And Greenfield Central strikes again, 22-16. Delta still with a 6-point lead. Jones Auto Body fixes paint, chips, collision repair, and more. Give J.R. Fannin and his staff a call at 284-2593 so they can diagnose the problem in your car and get you back on the road. Jones Auto Body, proud to support all Delaware County schools this year, as Greenfield Central has a player after that 2-point conversion that's down. It's actually quarterback Lance McKee, which he walks off with the trainers surrounding him, but under his own power.
That's a good sign for Greenfield Central and for Lance McKee. You don't want to see somebody go out, especially in a game like this. This is we've had a good one tonight,
and he's played well. Yeah, 1-score games have not been frequent for us this year, and this has been one of the few that we've seen that's been awfully competitive throughout the 4 quarters so far.
Now, if you're Delta right here, you've got to be ready for an onside kick. This is I don't know if Greenfield will do it, but this is the type of place that you might try that. So Delta's got to be ready, and they look like they've got some hands guys up there too.
Well, and they earlier in the game faked punt. They've been wanting to be aggressive. Got a 4th down play on their own side of the field as well. So not afraid to take what risks are the Greenfield Central Cougars. Means to kick it away, and left foot into it, and he boots it away. Near sideline, bounces at the 25, takes a Greenfield Central bounce. It's on the ground. Do they have it? Greenfield Central, I believe, has the football. Let's see. Oh, they're saying he went out on the sideline, I think. Let's see. The officials are going to surround the football. That took a Greenfield Central bounce. Bounced at the 28-yard line, came backwards. And now it's a matter of Greenfield Central was in the field of play, and the official throws the flag. It's an illegal procedure for Greenfield Central. Oh, man, that was inches away for the Cougars to get the football back for a chance to take the lead.
Well, and Delta really didn't do anything wrong on the play.
No.
The ball took a backward bounce and kind of a sideways bounce where nobody was at, and Greenfield got to it in a hurry. And fortunately for Delta, that the ball trickled out of bounds.
Wow. I mean, how lucky should Delta feel right now after that?
Oh, extremely lucky. And of course, it wouldn't be a Friday night game with us if there wasn't a weird special teams play.
Wow. So Delta will start at their own 41-yard line. Oh, goodness, that was that close. And you could see some of the Greenfield Central fans on the far side. You know, when you're that far away, it's hard to see. But even here, I think that was so 50-50. We had to rely on the officials to let us know what they thought. So now 1st and 10 for Delta at their own 41. They lead by 6. 7:58 to play. The pass has been more effective than the run as of late. We'll see what they like to do as Hunt takes the snap and gives to Evan Conley. Nope, it's a keeper for Hunt across the 45. Bangs his way down to the 47. That's about 7.5 yards for Brady Hunt.
And again, you know, Brady Hunt with the experience here, and with under 8 minutes to go in this game, if Delta can put a score on the board, that might put it out of reach for Greenfield with their running offense.
Well, and aggression versus milking the clock, we'll see the balance here. 2nd and 4 at their own 47-yard line. Snap taken from Hunt. Give to Conley. He'll bang his way near midfield, upended, and then moves the leverage forward down to the 49. Looks like enough for a first down for the Delta offense.
Another strong run by Evan Conley. He hasn't broken loose any today, but he's going to be a tired man. He's getting up close to 25, 30 carries.
It's been his average over the last 2 weeks. He'll eclipse that touch mark again this week. As Delta being patient with moving forward with this drive. A first down play at the Greenfield Central 49. We're under 7 minutes to play. A 6-point Delta lead. Shotgun look for Hunt. 2 wide receivers right. And Hunt takes the snap, gives to Conley. Pounds it up the middle, has a hole, stays on his feet, sheds off a tackler, and down to the 41, and then the extra effort across the 40 down to the 39.
What an extra effort run by Evan Conley. He was stopped at about an 8-yard gain, and then somehow came flying out of the pile for another 3 yards.
Well, one of the things that Chris Overholt told us about Evan Conley, these offensive linemen love blocking for one of their own. And I wonder if that was part of it, because those offensive linemen did not stop, and Conley with the extra effort for 11 yards.
Those offensive linemen don't get to carry the ball too often, so when they see one of their own back there, they get pretty excited about that.
Well, this whole thing started back in the Shelbyville game where Chris Overholt mentioned to Gavin Conley, hey, we're going to give you one carry this year, as Conley again maneuvers his way across the 35, down around the 33, gets the carry in that lopsided Shelbyville victory, 57-yard rush, and we were chuckling up in the booth because it was almost like, oh, that's fun, you get a senior an opportunity, and little did you know, 2 weeks later, he be the feature back.
Well, and that's what you're as a coach, you have a kid the size of Evan Conley that can run for a 57-yard touchdown and outrun people. These Delta coaches, they thought, this might work.
2nd and 4 at the 33. Hunt takes the snap and gives to Conley, and the shotgun blasts up the middle and stops around the 24-yard line. Another run. It's been Evan Conley the hammer on this drive, play after play, moving Delta down the field methodically. Another first down for Evan Conley.
And we talked about that earlier. You know, Evan Conley hasn't broken the big one, but he's slowly grinded on this Greenfield Central defensive line, and you can see now they're starting to wear down a little bit. And if Delta, with 5 minutes and 20 seconds, can put this in the end zone, that might do it.
This drive started with about 8 minutes and 10 seconds to play. It is now 5:10 and counting as Delta milking the clock and moving the football. Here's Conley, no play fake. It's Hunt on a quarterback keeper, and near hash stretches the football down to the 21-yard line for 4.
And if you're Greenfield Central here, you've got to start thinking about timeouts and time of possession and game clock, and Delta's content to run this play clock, and that's where you have somebody like Brady Hunt who's got the experience at quarterback. You can run this play clock down every time and not be concerned.
So now a 2nd and 7 for Delta, and it really has been their timely passing, timing routes that has helped them and really been bottled up from a running standpoint until this drive. Here's the 2nd and 7, right to Conley again. He was bottled up in the backfield and then redirects left, still on his feet across the 10. The extra effort runs through an ankle tackle down to the 9-yard line. First down for Evan Conley, 13 on the carry that time.
Well, and if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? I mean, this is this is Evan Conley all the way down the field, and until Greenfield Central stops it, I would suggest continuing to do that.
Delta started at their own 41 on this drive. They are at the Greenfield Central 10-yard line for a first and goal at the 10. Under 4 minutes to play in the contest. Here's Hunt taking the snap, design quarterback run. This time, great response from the defensive line of the Greenfield Central Cougars. That's Chris O'Connor, one of the linebackers, comes in and blows up the play.
And, you know, do you see Delta there with the option? And, you know, I think you're going to see, as they get down here towards the end zone, you're going to see Brady Hunt and Evan Conley, the seniors, handle the ball the entire way.
22-16 lead for Delta with 3:32 to go. They're at the Greenfield Central 9-yard line. Here's the second and goal from the 9. They'll give to Conley. Conley stays on his feet across the 5, down around the 3-yard line, setting up a third and goal from the 3. Last time they were in this situation, Greenfield Central held on downs at the goal line. Let's see if Delta can punch it in.
Well, this would, as a 6-point game, even a field goal down here for Delta would make it a 2-possession game. So, you know, you'd love to get in the end zone, but you also want to take care of the football down here.
Under 3 minutes to play in the fourth. Delta up 6. They're at the goal line of Greenfield Central for a third and goal from the 4. Conley to the right of Hunt. Hunt takes the snap option play. He'll go up the middle himself. Stretch for the end zone. Did he get in? I think his knee was down at the 1-yard line. He might have been on top of a defender, but the officials call it dead at the 1-yard line, and Greenfield Central clocks a timeout, I believe, right there with 2:30 to play and a fourth and goal from the 1. This is likely the football game with a 6-point lead for Delta. If Greenfield Central wants to have any chance, they've got to stop this fourth down play here.
And that's the second time that Delta's been as close as you can get to the end zone, I think, without getting in on this end of the field. So this will be interesting to see what Delta does here. Will they go for it on fourth down with, you know, Evan Conley's been just pounding out yards. You know, if I'm Chris Overholt, I'd say make him stop me.
And there is a Greenfield Central player as well down on the field, so I'm not sure if it was a charged timeout. I think it might be the defender down on the field that has stopped the clock here. So one way or the other, that's where we stand. 2:30 to play here in the fourth. Delta a 6-point lead and a fourth and goal from the 1 coming up. That is Brady Durnell, the safety. 2:30 to play. Delta fourth down coming up at MJ's Mobile Detailing and Pressure Washing. Let them taking care of your car simple. We all struggle with trying to juggle kids, work, and life. Let MJ's Mobile Detailing come to you while you're at work and clean your vehicle from top to bottom. MJ's Mobile Detailing, proud supporter of Delaware County High School sports. Fourth and goal at the 1-yard line for Delta. They lead by 6, 2:30 to play. Their offense remains on the field for the 4th and 1. The Delta offense looking to the near sideline. Officials, let us go back and play. Clock is going to run. 4th and goal from the 1. Brady Hunt under center. Deep back is Conley. Man in motion. They'll pitch it outside. Belangi. He'll slip 3. Oh, he gets cut underneath and doesn't get there. What a play from Greenfield Central as they have another goal line stand, their second of the game. And with 2:13 to play, they'll take over at their own 2-yard line with 3 timeouts to work with. Great defensive stop. That's what they needed.
That's exactly what they needed, and they're, you know, in the driver's seat at this point. Now they've got to go 99 yards, but that was a great individual tackle by Greenfield Central because Luke Belangi had the edge, and if that tackle's not made, he walks in.
All things considered, win or lose, Greenfield Central's defense has been exactly as advertised. The second-ranked defense in the HHC has played that way. 2:13 to play. Let's see what Greenfield Central can do. Here's misdirection. McKee on a keeper and then pitches it at the last moment out to Braden Harrell for a gain of just a couple. And now Greenfield Central going to move inside 2 minutes. They need to move quickly. Just a 5-yard gain there. McKee has Rashawn Street to his left. 1:52 and counting, 2nd and 5. They're taking some time as McKee takes the second down snap. Rolls out to throw. Throws left, finds Street at the 15. He gets loose to the 20, 25. Down the sideline, they'll cut down before he gets there at the 29-yard line. The clock will stop temporarily at 1:39 after the first down play.
Well, in the play before that, Lance McKee pitching that ball in the end zone, that was a safety that he prevented on the last play. What a great play.
And now Delta will take a timeout after the first down there from Greenfield Central. So 1:36 to play, and Greenfield Central down 6 at their own 28-yard line for a 1st and 10 after this timeout. They needed to get out of their own shadow of their end zone, so you check that off. Now it's about getting chunk plays.
And now if you're Delta, the biggest thing is if you're, linebackers or defensive back safeties, keep everything in front of you. With 96 seconds left in this game, they still have to go 72 yards for a touchdown. A field goal doesn't do anything for Greenfield Central. So keep everybody in front of you and make the tackle.
Yeah, there's no reason to try to make a game-saving play of any sort. You'd rather keep them in front of you than miss a tackle and let somebody get a big play ahead of you.
Absolutely. An interception-type pick-six play is not what you need right now. You need to keep everybody in front.
So out of the timeout, Greenfield Central at their own 28, a 1st and 10, 1:36 to play. They trail by 6 to the Delta Eagles. Under center, it's McKee. Has Street to his left, drops back to throw, and airmails the intended recipient. Braden Harrell on the far sideline, incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
And this is where, if you're Delta, you try to take advantage of the Greenfield offensive line, who does a great job of run blocking. We've talked about that tonight. But when you run the ball as many times as they do, maybe, not as adequate as pass blocking, and maybe you can get in the backfield and get a sack here.
So now 2nd and 28, or 2nd and 10 at the 28 for Greenfield Central. Wide receiver right, that's Street. Snap taken from McKee. He's rushed, gets out of trouble. Now looks for the sideline, gets around Braxton Edwards near sideline 30 and out of bounds at the 32-yard line for about 4. You see the speed of McKee to get to the edge there. But still long 3rd down play coming up. Stops the clock at 1:25 to play.
And a good job by McKee to get out of bounds. He probably could have gained a few more yards if he had cut back, but right now they need time.
3rd and about 4 for Greenfield Central and Lance McKee. 1:25 to play. They trail by 6. Under center, McKee takes the snap, fakes the end around. It's McKee keeping it. Getting to the edge, 40. Down the sideline, 45 midfield. He's at the Delta 45 and out of bounds. Greenfield Central on the Delta side of the field with 1:17 to play. It's a 1st down.
Well, and I know we talked about the young sophomores in the backfield for Greenfield Central, but the experience of Lance McKee, the senior, he's going to keep the ball in his hands.
He has done a fantastic job. 1st and 10 at the Delta 43-yard line. It's McKee under center with a wide receiver right. That is Street, who is always dangerous. Behind him, Brady Durnell. McKee takes the step, looks right. He's rushed and will be sacked. Sacked right up the middle. It's Riley Wooden with his 8th of the year.
Well, we haven't called Riley Wooden's name a lot tonight in the backfield, but because they don't pass a lot. But when they needed a big play, Riley Wooden came up with it big time.
And Greenfield Central immediately takes a timeout. It backs up their offense to the 48 with 1:11 to play. 22-16. Delta leads by 6, but a big play from Riley Wooden.
Huge play by Riley Wooden, and that's what you expect out of your seniors, is to come up and make big plays. And like we said, he, as a team that doesn't pass a lot with Greenfield Central, we haven't called his name a lot tonight, but he's taken up a lot of room on that line and made a lot of nice plays and came up with a big one right there.
That's the 3rd sack of the night for the Delta defense, but they're going to need a little bit more, as Greenfield Central started at their own 2-yard line and now at the Delta 48 with 1:11 to play in the game and down by 6. Out of the timeout, Greenfield Central has 2 timeouts remaining. Lance McKee has Rashawn Street to his left. Under center, and Delta puts 4 men on the line. It's McKee Man in motion. They'll give it underneath. That is Durnell. Not much there. May have gotten to the 47. Nope, it's going to be no gain. Durnell, no gain on the carry. And now a third down play as Greenfield Central quickly to the line. They move straight to the right. McKee on a 3rd and 15. Takes the snap. Looks right. Stands in. Protection's good. Throws over the middle. It's loose in the middle field and intercepted. Intercepted by Delta. And Trevor Edgerton fitting. Seals it.
Trevor Edgerton. We said all he does is catch touchdowns. Well, maybe he heard us. Now he catches interceptions too. What a play!
That's fitting. 3 receiving touchdowns on the night and a game-sealing interception. Edgerton with 45 seconds may have just sealed it for Delta. They lead by 6 and will bring the offense back on the field. And Lance McKee knew it. He was on his knees at midfield after making that mistake. I think as soon as he released it, he thought he just put a little too much on it.
Yeah, and Street was down there, but there were 3 Delta defenders. And one of the most understated things here was Edgerton got down and didn't try to return that, cause a fumble or something like that. So it's a very, very smart play by Trevor Edgerton. So
Brady Hunt will put a knee into the ground, and one more of those should seal the 6th victory of the season for the Delta Eagles. 22-16 they lead. One more coming. Wasn't necessarily the prettiest of games for the Delta Eagles, but hey, it's going to count all the same. The final knee into the ground, and Delta now 6-1. They squeak one out against the Greenfield Central Cougars. 22-16 is the final, and still Greenfield Central has yet to beat the Delta Eagles as the Eagles move to 6-1. The Walls Furniture post-game show is coming up next here on Muncie Sports Station.
Great ball game.
Those are more fun than the alternative, right?
I like it.
right, the Walls Furniture post-game show here on Muncie Sports Station Delta, now 6-1. They won 22-16 over the Greenfield Central Cougars. Rob Robbins has the final statistics brought to you by First County Federal Credit Union.
Well, the final statistics for Delta rushing, we had Luke Belangi with 5 carries for 7 yards. Abram Stitt, 3 carries for 18 yards. Brady Hunt really carried the load a little bit in the second half. He finished with 13 carries for 79 yards. And then obviously on that last drive, we saw a heavy dose of Evan Conley, who carried the ball for 28 times, which is about what he's been averaging the last couple of weeks. He did eclipse the 100-yard mark at 104 yards. Ian Renbarger, 2 carries for 9 yards as well. Passing, Brady Hunt was very, very efficient tonight. 11 of 17 for 145 yards and 3 touchdown passes. Receiving, Carson New got a lot of the receptions tonight. Still finished with 5 catches for 55 yards, but it was Trevor Edgerton, 3 catches for 54 yards, and all 3 went for touchdowns. So very balanced attack for Delta tonight with the run and the pass. For Greenfield Central, they were led by Lance McKee, who carried the ball 18 times for 96 yards. Andrew Zeller, 6 carries for 66 yards. Lance McKee passing 3 for 6 for 33 yards, and the interception at the end of the game. And all 3 completions go to Rashawn Street, who had 3 catches for 33 yards.
Final statistics brought to you by First County Federal Credit Union. A credit union is a member-owned financial cooperative existing for the good of its members. Your deposits are loaned to your neighbors. Together we strengthen the community. Experience what it's like to be a member. First County FCU, serving Delaware County. How about the play of the game brought to you by the Muncie YMCA?
Well, I think the play of the game is obviously the interception that sealed the victory for the Eagles, and great defensive play by Trevor Edgerton. We talked about him receiving and was in great position and was able to haul in the game-winning interception.
The play of the game brought to you by the Muncie YMCA. Is the Y something you wanted to be a part of but didn't think you could afford it? Think again. The YMCA of Muncie offers financial assistance for those who qualify. Don't wait any longer to be a part of something great. Get to one of their several locations today or visit them online, themuncieymca.org, or call 281-YMCA, the Y, for a better us. Looks like we'll be joined by Chris Overholt, the head coach of the Delta Eagles, here in a matter of moments. I think he's making his way up here. Yes, he is. After a big win, 6-1 now for Delta. And again, I don't know if you'll look at this and say it's the prettiest win that they've had this year, but they count all the same.
They do. We used to say a win is a win. So, coaches, whether they're disappointed or not in certain things, they, at the end of the day, they look at the win column, and this one goes in the win column for the Eagles.
Absolutely, as we'll wait for him to come up here, and here he is. Fantastic win for Delta, number 9 in Class 4A. Gets it done, and I'll hand the microphone over to Coach. And, Coach, congratulations on the victory. Look, we talked about it pregame. This was going to be a tough game. This is going to be short possessions. It's the game you exactly expected, and hey, they all count the same. May not be the prettiest one you've had all year, but you got it done.
I tell you what, I'm proud of my guys. That's a tournament victory right there. That's a team that has one of the better defenses in the conference, and we had to do a lot of different things to move the ball around and get people in there, and our defense was just stingy all night. So, yeah, I'm real proud of my guys.
It had been a lot of, running the football this year was really your calling card. Tonight, the quick timing passing game was huge, and the touchdowns are going to go really into the stat column as people looking, that's how it got it done. But it was the timing routes that Carson New had. Brady was in a great rhythm, might have had one of his better games, passing of his career.
We just take what the defense gives us. So we had a conversation last week that Brady and Evan had been carrying the offense the last 2 weeks. Well, now they really wanted to zero in and take away our inside run game. And so our quick passing opened up because you can't take away everything in this offense. So we executed at a high level, connecting the quick routes to our receivers, and they did a great job getting up the field and getting us extra yards.
Well, I've asked all year long about, usually we reference the tournament, and I think this year taking it 1 week at a time is even more so the case with everything we've been going through. But to have these kind of high-pressure moments, which you've had some of those this year, but in a four-quarter game to have to grind this out, you mentioned this was a tournament-style victory. To go through almost a simulation of that is important. You want to stay second place in the conference. There were a lot of experiences in this game. You didn't succeed. You found a way to respond. Big interception at the end, and you made the plays to win the game.
Yeah, and our guys, they just keep showing up. You see some of the experience with the 2-year and 3-year starters we have out there. They've been in a lot of different situations, so they don't panic. We have a little bit of dog in us, and so when we get challenged and we have to make a play, we're seeing those playmakers really step up.
Chris Overholt, the head coach of the Delta Eagles, they moved to 6-1 tonight after defeating Greenfield Central 22-16. And Trevor Edgerton, look, you mentioned his big playability in preseason. You said, hey, the guys like Abram Stitt and the guys like Trevor Edgerton, you think we lost a lot with our skill players last year, but these guys are slowly getting more experience and getting better as the season goes on, which is exactly what you predicted, Coach.
Yeah, and we had such a beautiful rhythm in July, and then we took the 2 weeks away, and we kind of lost it between Trevor and Brady. And it took us, 3 or 4 games to get back into game shape and make sure we're good. But now you're seeing them click on full cylinders. And then Abram just is growing up every week. He threw some great blocks tonight. He couldn't be the centerpiece right away, but his time's coming. And I think that speaks a lot to our team, where they're just patient. They root for their teammates and they say, hey, karma's going to come around in my turn maybe next week.
Evan Conley, again, a heavy load for him. He went out with a little bit of an injury, came back in, all good. But the heavy load that you're asking him to do, and I know he's a kid that you mentioned before. We put him at defensive line, we put him at offensive line, we put him at feature back. Doesn't matter. The kid wants to flat out play and play physical. The way he finished this game at the end of the game, getting down to the goal line, I know you didn't punch it in, but you asked a lot of him on that drive.
Absolutely. We even talked about that this is a new situation for him. So instead of picking up a big block or reading key on defense and getting a quarterback sack, we're putting the ball in his hands. So we're like, well, let's see what he can do, because it was open and the way he was running, he was not slowing down. He's fine. He's not injured. He's just an offensive lineman that's getting used to getting hit in the legs. So sometimes it feels a little different, but he's responded. He's a kid that takes care of his body through the weight program and conditioning and everything. So he was able to come back on there and really limit that clock possession for their last drive because we were able to milk so much.
You finish up the regular season next week at New Palestine, and I know, pretty much the entire HHC in the state, shockwaves were sent when Mount Vernon beat New Palestine. But I think, that reaction was, well, maybe they're not as good as they're still a team that's at worst going to be a 2-loss team this year. So they are still a really good team. So this was a really good team, tough team in the trenches. Again, you're going to see a very similar team that way next week, and you're going to go there and have a great test to end the year as you always do.
It's a physical conference, and everyone's a little different. No one's really like us. There's no one like Greenfield. There's no one running the power option game like Pendleton's doing. And then you have the returning 5A state champs that are also in our conference, and they're going to do their thing. You have Yorktown, which is now a power run team doing some different things. So it's a great conference. I mean, it really is. It gets you ready. It beats you up, with us and Yorktown being the smaller of the two schools. But next week we got to do our job, because if we get some help, you never know what's going to happen. You could tie for first in the conference.
Right.
If not, we want that second place. So we've had it the last 2 years behind the number 1 ranked team and 5A. And if we have to get it again, I mean, we don't want third. We want second. And so we're going to prep that way.
Chris Overholt's the head coach of the Delta Eagles. They moved to 6-1 tonight after a 22-16 win over Greenfield Central. Congrats, Coach. Thanks for joining us on the postgame show.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate you being here.
That's Chris Overholt, head coach of the Delta Eagles. We'll continue on the Walls Furniture postgame show right here on Muncie